Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef Pam and this is Chef and More. Today we are going to be cooking fried pickles with homemade tempura batter. Yes, and if you want to learn how to make all kind of food and dishes homemade the easy and simple way, subscribe so you won't miss any of my videos and tap that bell so you'll always get notified. We're going to get started right now. Okay guys, we're going to be using dill pickles, just sliced dill pickles. You can use spears or other shapes, but I like the circles a lot. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and get our pickles out of this juice and out of this jar. Now we have to drain the pickles. You want to get as much of the juice off as you want. So I'm not going to make the whole jar or I just dump it out. I'm just going to make a few here, not too many. And guys, I don't like the end pieces like this. I like to take those out. I like the circles like this that are just circles on both sides. The end pieces to me, they don't just fry up quite right. So let's go ahead and get our pickles out so that we can get them all drained a little bit. And I'm going to set these pickles aside and let them continue to drain while we make up our tempura batter. Yes, okay. I think this should be about enough. Just a few more, I guess. Okay, let's get these out of here and get them all drained. That'll work. So we have our pickles here, and as you can see in the bowl, the juice is coming out. There's lots of it in there. So we'll just set these aside and let them drain. Okay guys, we're making homemade tempura batter. That's the light, crispy batter that you taste on so many items. And it's just 3 ingredients. We have ice cold water here. Now your water needs to be ice cold. I've actually had this water sitting in ice for a little bit. And we need a strainer because we have to sift our flour. So right now we have 1 egg. So we're just going to beat our egg a little bit so that we can make sure the white and the yellow, the yolk and the white is incorporated pretty good. So you can use a spoon or a fork to beat it with. I'm just going to use a whisk. So just want to beat it until it's not too fluffy, but it's just well incorporated so that you won't see too many white streaks going through the yellow part. Okay, now we're going to go ahead, after we make sure this is beat real good, we're going to get our ice water in. That's the next thing you need to do, is pour your ice water in and incorporate that too. Okay, let's get our ice water in. Just go ahead, pour it in, nothing fancy. And then we're going to mix this, get this all incorporated. Next, we'll be doing our flour. Now this is all-purpose flour, and guys, that was a cup of water, and we're going to be using 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You don't want to use self-rising flour or anything because you don't want it to rise when you start cooking. Okay, so now we're going to sift our flour. Now you can use a regular sifter or it's just a plain strainer like I have here. You want to make sure that you sift the flour. Don't just dump it in because you want to make sure there's no lumps in there, that it's all nice and smooth and aerated. That's going to make sure your batter is light in texture and fluffy. So get in there and shake that strainer and get that flour sifted. Yes. Okay guys, and after we do this, we'll get it all stirred up really well, then we will be ready to fry. Okay, all sifted. And now guys, we are going to go ahead and stir our batter. I'm actually going to use my whisk again, and you just want to make sure that the flour is incorporated really well. Make sure you go around the edges and get all the flour that's on your bowl from around the edges and incorporate that. You want to get it all incorporated. Then guys, after we get this all mixed up, make sure it's very well mixed. Make sure it's smooth, that there's no lumps in your batter, and it's just nice, smooth batter. Once we get it all mixed up and all stirred up, we're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. Now you really can make your batter first and that way it'll have a chance to sit while you're doing something else, like getting your pickles out of the jar or preparing whatever you're going to make with your tempura batter, because this batter can be used for a lot of different things. But I just went ahead and did my pickles first. So now we have this ready. We're going to set it aside and then head over to the fryer. Okay guys, now once you get ready to get your pickles all battered up, give your batter another stir. And I have some salt here because whenever you're frying something up, you want to give it a little salt as soon as it comes out the fryer. Let that salt melt into the heat. Not a lot, just a light sprinkle of salt. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and get these pickles battered. Now I'll just go ahead and use my fingers because they're small, and yes, it's a little messy, but it's quick and easy. The main thing you want to do is make sure that you put your pickles in one at a time so they don't stick together and clump up. And you also want to make sure that you wipe off the excess of batter each time. Just run it across the edge like that and then put it in. You also want to make sure that you don't overcrowd your skillet. So although I don't have a lot of pickles, I will be putting them into 2 batches because I want to make sure I have room in my skillet. When you overcrowd your skillet, then your food, whatever you're frying, soaks up all that grease. So if you're frying something and you find out when you're done that it's a little bit greasy, it could be chicken. It doesn't matter. If it comes out a little greasy, you had too many pieces in your skillet. Now I know sometimes you're cooking and you think, oh, I have 4 pieces, I'll just put them all in, when really you need to put in 2. So sometimes guys, cooking just takes a little bit of time. So you have to be patient and go ahead and do it the right way. Make it stick. Okay guys, and then we're just going to get these turned over and stirred up until they are golden brown on both sides. And guys, I'm going to just say one other thing about doing the pickles this way. If you don't cook very often or you don't fry things very often and you're not used to batter and frying things, you might want to just take a paper towel and blot the extra moisture off of the pickles. Because although you guys can't hear it or see it, these pickles are popping everywhere. Grease is really, it's not splattering, but it is popping. And yes, it's popping on my hands, but I cook so much, I'm used to it. So it doesn't bother me. It's just part of cooking. But if you're not used to it, you might want to blot it. That'll keep them from splattering because they are wet. And even though you've coated them in batter, they're still damp and they will splatter a little bit. So just take a paper towel, a napkin, or you can take a clean dish towel, whatever you have, and just blot them dry. You want to maybe even spread them out on a dish. Make sure they're blotted dry on both sides, and then batter them and then fry them. That way you can ensure that there's no splatter, everything's safe, and can fry them up nice and easy. And that's pretty much anything if you're frying something, but because they're so small and they're so wet, that's the reason why they're popping. So some of these are getting golden brown. The ones I put in first are starting to turn golden brown. So I'm just going to keep flipping them so that they can cook evenly on both sides. Okay guys, look like most of these are ready to come out. So we'll take these out and get our second batch done. And see, I'm salting them as I get them out. I've taken 3 or 4 pieces out. Go ahead and salt them. If you take a few out, salt them. Just make sure that you separate them as you're putting them on your cooling rack so that you won't over salt the first ones that you already put salt on. Yes. Okay guys, these are just about done. We are almost through with our tempura battered fried pickles. Yum! I love fried pickles. These are like fish and chips to me. They are so tasty, but I like pickles. And you know guys, you can do the spicy pickles or the flavored pickles. You can do all kind of pickles. They're just really delicious when they're fried up like this. And we are all done, guys. Yes! Put a little bit more salt on the ones that we just took out, so they will be nice and tasty. Guys, look at these. They are nice and golden brown and crispy. Yes. Look at that, guys. We are all done and we are ready to eat. That's the best part. And guys, if you like these how-to videos, consider supporting me over on Patreon. I've got the link in the description as well as right here. And don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so that you'll always get all of my videos and you'll also get notified. Leave me some comments. Tell me if you fried up some pickles. How did you like them? How did they turn out? And give me a thumbs up, guys. I really do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and cooking with me today. I really do enjoy each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.